If you're here to see one of my metaphysical or paranormal videos, well, this isn't that kind of video, alright? This is a video showing the installation of a steering shaft and bearing on my MTD HUSKEE 4200 2007. Alright, stand by, here we go. This is my 2007 MTD HUSKEE LT 4200, right? And I would have shown the removal of the steering shaft, but it all went so smoothly, and I just kept on going without running the camera. So today we're going to show you the installation of the steering shaft, which is a MTD part number, MTD 7380919B, right? And I'll repeat these part numbers later. And we'll also be changing the bearing flange that goes with the steering shaft, and that's a part number MTD 941041124. Alright, and let's get going. It's not a very difficult job if you're mechanically inclined. In some of the videos, that's air conditioners kicking in. In some of the videos I saw that they removed the gas tank, the stand that the tank's on. I even heard of taking out batteries and battery plates and all that. And naturally, of course, there were some who took off the deck and raised the machine by planks and jacks and this and that. But I found that you really don't have to, alright? Now I lowered the deck all the way, and I was able to do the job, and I was able to leave everything inside without taking everything apart. And let's wait for this fire engine to go by. Let's skip forward. I'm removing the camera from the tripod so we can get a little bit closer look. Alright. So, right there's where the steering will be reinstalled. And let's get a little closer inside the engine here. Right in there underneath the gas tank is where the steering gears go, and that's the hole going out to the bottom. That's where the steering shaft will go through, and that's where the bearing will be. Now I changed the bearing because it's a flange bearing, it's called, and I changed. You'll see it. I'll show you the parts in just a minute. But I changed them because I changed it because there was too much play down at the end of the shaft, and I didn't want to order the shaft too early without seeing if I needed to order another part, and apparently I did. All right, and we will tighten that shaft from underneath. Okay, that's a picture of the underside of the mower. That's where the flange will go, the bearing flange, and it simply just lays in the hole. Okay, let's take a look at the parts. Alright, this is the steering shaft, MTD part 738-0919B, and naturally it's just an updated part number. They had an A, and then it went to B. I guess the next one will be C. But you see the gear is worn a bit, actually quite a bit, and this is why the steering was messing up, as well as the flange gear, right? And this would go, this is the old piece on there, remember? But notice how this is broken on the edge here, right? And there was a lot of play, no good. And this is what the new part looks like. Look at the difference in the gears. This one's nice and clean, right? And you got little ribs where the steering wheel will go. Bearings together. Notice the difference if you can. This one's all chopped up, and this one's not. Nice. These are basically the only screws and bolts that I took apart. So there's 3, and then the one that goes into the end of the shaft. That's a little cap that you might see in a part list. You know, this goes into the end of the shaft, you know, like so, in there. The only tools that I'm using are right there. You know, it's the, you know, the 3/8 extension with the 1/2 inch socket on it. I don't need that long extension, but I used it to help with the steering wheel. Anyway, you'll see. And then there you go. I'm using a crescent wrench, a Phillips head screwdriver, little 3/8 wrench to help put on the plastic pieces, and we'll get moving here. Let's get this thing put together. Well, first things first, let's go ahead and put the steering wheel on that new shaft. Here's the new shaft, and you got the little spines there. You see that? Fairly good. All right, and then the steering wheel will be attached through the hole there. But anyway, let's get this. Got this cap after you did the removal. Got this cap after you did the removal of the steering wheel. This came off and you detached those 3 screws. I'll show you how they go back, except let's get this on the shaft first, because that's the way it'll be, right? Let's put that on the shaft, and here's the steering wheel. So you got there's the 1/2 inch bolt that we're going to tighten it down to the shaft with. There's a washer. There's a washer down inside there. So be putting the bolt through there. Okay. So got the plastic cap on. There's the shaft. Let's put this down in there. Alright. Going nice and easy. Remember, this is brand new. Never had to do this before. Just a shade tree mechanic like everyone else. Well, not everyone else, but there we go. Nice and that's snug in there. Good look at it. It's all the way. It's all where. Okay. It's all the way pushed up. Alright. Either way, the nut, the bolt will get back down. Okay. And here's the nut, the bolt. Here's the bolt, and put that down inside there through the hole. Alright. Give it a little twisty there. Alright. Cool. Alright. So now I'm going to use my 1/2 inch ratchet. That's my 3/8 ratchet. And we'll get that bolt back in there real good. Okay, that's nice and tight there. You see that? You know, see that torque? That torque? Yeah, that's about 500 pounds torque pressure. Not really. I don't know. Snug. So you should have it set up sort of like this, as I repeat myself. This is the part. This is the part that's going to go on the dashboard of the mower. Slide that all the way up. And then should have a thing like that. All right. So I'm going to slip this through. I'm going to slip the steering shaft through the hole, as you're seeing there. It's going through the top. Going down. Okay, let's put in the bushing flange right now. Flange or the bushing. It goes right into that hole, right there on the bottom there. Okay, goes with the nut-like side down, because there's a cutout groove that matches that nut, and it'll hold it in place. Alright, there it goes. All that leaves in there. Alright, I put the nut right in there, the flange, the bearing, whatever you want to call it, and it just slipped right down into the hole there. Can't go wrong. Make sure it's in there. Then you take the rest of the steering shaft. Let's lower it down a bit more. I want to straighten the wheels. Now you might want to straighten your wheels before you put that steering shaft all the way in there. This way it's straight, sort of like an alignment. Now that you have your front wheel straight, you might want to get your steering wheel right before you go down into the hole. Okay. So the flange is in there, steering wheel straight, front wheels is straight-ish, and let's put the shaft in. On it should be easier than that. Oh, I see what the issue is. And for whatever obvious reasons, I'm going to add some grease and some contact points and down in the gears. I'm going to add some grease into there. Okay. Alright, let's see what it looks like so far. Okay, the steering wheel somewhat straight. Got that bolt down in there, nice and snug. Remember, 500 pounds? No, just kidding, snug. Snug. And there's the shaft with the gear. And it's lined up with the other gear. And then the bearing is down there. It's seated real nice in the design slot. Front wheels are straight. And now we're going to go and put the heavy duty screw underneath into the shaft. Alright, what I used to get this Phillips head screw out, yes, it was tough, and putting it back, some people might want to put some Loctite on it, but for me it's a 2007 model, and I'm sure getting it pretty snug will make it hold. And if you don't realize that the screw fell out or is getting loose while you're working, well, maybe you should pay better attention. Anyway, to get the screw out, I use this contraption. Some of you might see, it's a fairly big Phillips head, pretty beat up, but it's kind of stubby at the tip there, right? And yeah, you're in an odd position to do it, so you need a little strength to crack it, right? And I used my crescent wrench, which you'll see, and I put some pressure against the screw, and then all I had to do was turn the wrench like that. Okay? See how my screwdriver fits right in there? Do what you gotta do, but that's not a very difficult setup to do. You probably, you got box wrenches that you can do that too. Also, you probably even got a socket you can use at the end of your screwdriver if it's something like mine. So, yep. So I put it in there. It was upside down, so, and pressed up against it a bit and just twist. Yeah, like I said, it was a little tough, but not too bad. And the rounded part is going to be to the outside on that big washer, bushing, whatever the heck they want to call that one. So let's get underneath and get this put back in. Here goes my screwdriver, and there goes the screw. I really can't see it. Alright. There we go. Just tighten it. Yeah, I got a little boo-boo when I was looking for my grease. No biggie. Alright. As tight as we can. Remember, use about 500 pounds torque, which I'm doing with my bare hands. Nah, not really. Okay, watch the knuckles. Okay, that should be about it. Alright, so we're pretty much done on the bottom. Can you see? Can you see? I know it's a little different. Okay. Right. Now we're going to attach those three little bolts to the plastic piece. There you go, all three are in. Alright. No, not too bad. So yeah, that's where the three bolts go to hold on the plastic little cover. You see the shaft back there somewhere. It's way tucked in. But down there you got the bottom of the shaft with that pinion gear, and put grease all over it. Not too bad actually. And underneath that bolt, that big fat screws holding it in. Okay, and for close to our last procedure, we have the cap that goes in the center of the steering wheel. Notice there's some little clips in there. Boom. Yeah. Push it in, and that's that. Well, what do you think? Think we could steer it now? Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, look at that wheel turn. Nice and stiff. Good. And good. Until next time.